Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time on this channel, you are welcome. And today's video, I am Anne Poacher and I'm an author and I also do business. Um, Today's video is all about plug plants. At the moment, I've got two books called Planting for Food. Both of them, one of them is called Planting for Food Indoor Series, and then planting. The second one is called Planting for Food Outdoor Series, which will be all on my website and also on my online store, Amazon online stores, and my eBay and my Etsy stores as well. So they're not yet out, but as you follow me on my social media platform, my Instagram and my Facebook and my Twitter, you know exactly when the book is released. And also once it's launched, I am going to let you, my YouTube audience, know. So thank you very much for my subscribers who have subscribed already, and for those of you who watch my videos without subscribing, please do click the subscribe button and the notification bell. It helps me out because I'm trying to get to that point where I am able to live stream content to you guys and also do premiere videos with you guys so that you have a live feel of my content creation process, basically, especially when I'm doing things like recipes and all of that stuff, which I'll be doing very soon. So today is all about plug plants. Okay, I bought this one today. This evening I went out to Asda and I bought some, and I already had started to the process of basically putting them into plant pots like this that I have. So these ones like are normally in here in this particular package, and then I transfer them to a plant pot that I have at home. And all the instructions of how to care for the plant once you have it at home is written at the back of this paper, and the labels are there so you know exactly what plant you're buying. So this is a plug plant. Okay, so this is coriander, which is this one, and I've labeled it here so that I will not confuse it with flat parsley at the moment. So then it was quite bushy, quite thick, so I harvested them a bit of the leaves and I've put it on in here, okay, which I'll use for my cooking um maybe sometime tomorrow or during the week. So I will continue, just for the purpose of illustration, I will continue to harvest, and I would say that you harvest the mature bits, which are like these leaves, okay, and then the regrowth in between, you leave them to regrow. You don't touch those, you don't harvest those until they've matured. So I'll start to do that and continue doing it until my plant is actually looking decent, which is not too bushy, having like the what's it called, the leaves, the mature leaves hanging out, because they'll dry up eventually and die off. So to prevent that, you harvest it and then you leave the regrowth to grow so that it's not in competition with the mature with the already mature leaves. Okay, so you have to be careful not to tamper too much with the regrowth, with the delicate parts. So you just have to be, and then you use your hands, you don't use scissors, because if you make the mistake of using scissors, you'll end up killing your plant. So it's best that you harvest with your hands. You just snip it off like that, okay, which is very easy to do. Once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy to do. So you keep on doing it. Okay. And once you get your plug plant, you can water it if the compost is dry. It's got compost already at the bottom. um, if the compost feels dry, you can water it, but if the compost is damp or moist, then you don't have to water it straight away. You can leave it for a few days and then water it. um, the good thing about plug plant is that you can plant it in your allotment or your um, garden space, or even indoors like I am doing into plant pots like this. So this one I'll leave it. I'll do the rest as days go by. So I'll leave it now. And then I normally fill the gaps in here and in the sides with compost, but I don't have compost at the moment. I'll get some tomorrow hopefully. So I just pop that on my windowsill because that one is already got it's moist, it's quite damp, so I don't need to water it. And so let me move on to my basil. Okay, so for my basil, again, I've got a pot already and it's in one of the bags. Again, the instructions of how to take care of it is at the back, but I already know how to take care of basil. So all I'll do is I'll transfer it to this pot here, and then I just get rid of the paper. So then that is, there you have it. So normally I'd fill the gaps, okay, with compost, okay, but like I said, I don't have compost today, so I will just do that tomorrow. Okay, and again you can see that the compost is quite moist, so I don't need to water it straight away. So when I have the compost, the dry compost, I'll fill it up and then I'll water it then. Okay, so again in this same plastic bowl, I'm going to be harvesting this again because it's quite bushy and it's got new leaves as well. So I'm going to again harvest the mature leaves such as these ones. Okay, again, you do not use scissors to harvest, you just use your fingers. Okay, and you harvest the mature and you leave the regrowth to regrow. Okay, and the good thing about basil is that you can actually snip some and transplant it, so then you can keep having more and more of them grow until you have a bushy what's it called, a bushy basil basil herb garden basically. So, and this is the sweet basil. So this is the sweet basil, because there's two types of basil. There's the lemon basil and there's the sweet basil. This is the sweet basil. And so I'll continue doing this. So the leaves that you see me leaving on there is because they're not that mature. So I get the big leaves, harvest the big leaves. Those are mature enough to be used and taken off. So normally I also grow my basil from seed, and I'll be doing that once I get fresh compost, I'll be doing that. But for now, I just want to have these ones to keep me going with my cooking, and also to fill up the, what's it called, my indoor herb garden space, because I'm preparing for the winter season. So this would help me to create my herb jars, which I normally create them by drying the herbs, harvesting them such as I'm doing now, and then washing them and air drying them, and then putting them into jars, airtight jars. So that is also another reason why I get plug plants, is for the winter season, to create herb jars for the winter season, and stuffing jars as well, and my barbecue spices and all of that stuff, this kind of spices, so that I don't have to keep buying herbs during winter, and I also have the option of both dry and fresh herbs to use in my cooking. And it also saves me quite a bit of money during winter, so that I'm able to harvest what I would have spent on things like food and on things like herbs, to actually invest into my business, and also for my children's future business, basically. So that keeps us going as a family. So that's how we manage to invest the money that we have without getting into financial debt for business, which they often call good debt, but I prefer to not be a borrower. So all my businesses are debt-free businesses, basically, because of doing simple things like these to free up money to invest. Okay, so now I'll do a few more here on the sides. And then I'll move on to my mint. Okay, so I'll leave that now like this, and I'll harvest the rest as the weeks go by. So I'll pop that on my windowsill as well. So then I'll move on to my Moroccan one. My Moroccan, no, let me show you that is my rosemary. Again, all the instructions are at the back of how to care for it. Now, this is an outdoor what's it called? An outdoor plant, but because I keep it in pots, eventually I'll transfer it to patio pots and just keep it in my patio. But for now, I'll keep it on my windowsill because it gives it still that lighting that it needs, and without it being too harsh on the actual plant. So I don't need to necessarily harvest this because although it's mature, it's not wild, so I don't need to harvest it. Okay, and also the compost is quite moist because they probably watered it. I bought that from Asda. And then I have this one, my parsley, and I will just take off bits from here. I'm not going to necessarily take off quite a lot, but I'm going to take off just the hanging bits. Okay, so then it looks decent, and then I'll water it as well before placing it on the windowsill. Now normally I grow this from seed, but I haven't done it yet, but I'm preparing to do that. So if you watch my previous videos that I've done, you know that I'm preparing for winter. So that is even why I got the plug plants, because it helps me during winter time, so I don't have to always keep running to the shop to buy herbs and to do shopping like that. So it helps to have this in my kitchen. So I have an indoor herb garden. If you'd like to see have a tour, to see a tour of my indoor garden, put it in the comment section and I'll do a video of my tour, my indoor garden tour for you guys to see. But for those of you who follow me again on my social media platforms, you'd know how my indoor garden looks like. So you can see the bits, some of the bits that have dried off, so I just normally remove those and put them into my compost heap. Okay, so basically I've got a little bit of water here from my bottle, my clear bottle. It's basically my basically my alternative watering can. So basically it's a clear bottle and I made holes at the top so that it can work as a watering can, and the flow is not too heavy on my plants, because when the flow of the water is too heavy, it can destroy your plant, your tender plants. So that is why I have this, and I got the hack from Joe, a guy called Joe on Instagram. He's called Grow with Joe. He has amazing tips for gardeners. So as you can see, just water a bit and then it's good to go. Then I'll pop this on my windowsill. And then I will do this. This is my Moroccan mint. I've got the English version of mint, but today I saw this when I went to Asda. They had three for £5, which I bought the parsley, the rosemary, and this one. So I normally use mint for mint tea. So I normally just dry it and use it for my mint tea, especially during winter, so I stock up on it. I make my own what's it called, dry green tea. So I dry the mint and then use it in my tea. But you can also use it the fresh leaves. You can use it to flavor ice cream and stuff like that. So I'm going to be showing you guys a few recipes, and coming up very soon on my channel, because I have recipe books. Okay, so again, I'm just going to show you guys how to harvest. So you use your hands again. You don't use scissors. So you use your hands, and you take the mature leaves. So I'll take the first leaf, I'll leave the two. I'll take the first leaf, I'll leave the one, and then I'll take the first leaves and leave the one again, and then leave the top bit. Okay, so again, I'll leave that one, I'll take the one pair of leaves, I'll leave the one, I'll take the one, I'll leave the one, because there's new growth, you will be able to tell, and I'll continue to do that to harvest until I'm done. Okay. So because I don't want this video to cut out before saying a proper bye, I'm gonna stop here with this one, and I'm just going to water it because the compost is quite dry. It's quite dry. I don't know if you can see, like it's quite dry. So I'm going to water it again, and then I'll finish the harvesting camera. So again, I pop this on my windowsill, and then lastly, before I say bye to all of you, I have plant pots that I already had. So I created a herb garden, into which this big pot, you can actually use it during the summertime as your patio pot. And so I've got another basil here, which I don't need to tell you much about because I've already done one. So this one, I'm just going to prop it into, create a space for it in this pot, and just pop it because it's already got its own compost. Okay, so I just pop it on the side. I need to create a deep enough space.